welcome to Teaching Everyday Cooking. Today we're looking at how to poach an egg. So what we want to do is really just understand the basic principles and understand why it goes right and maybe why it goes wrong for you as well. So we'll run through the basic procedure of that. But the first key factor with poached eggs is that you've really got to get the freshest possible egg you can get. Now the reason for that, very simply, is that as an egg gets older, the egg white starts to break down, becomes thinner. And you may have found that if you've fried an egg before and you've broken the egg into the pan, you may have seen that the egg white itself just spreads itself over the entire pan. Now that's fine, the egg's still completely edible, it just means it's an older egg. With poached eggs, we've got to get the fresh egg, where the egg white itself actually holds itself together. Without that, you're going to fail. So that's really the biggest key point. What I'll do, I'll show you poaching an older egg, I'll show you poaching a nice fresh egg, so we can really understand the differences, understand what's going on in the pan, and we can also really look at the end results. So what I'll do next is just quite simply, it's going to break an egg into a pan, into a frying pan, just so you can really just see the difference. I might be showing you what you already know already, but it's just worth just clarifying a few points. And then with that, we can move on to actually doing the poaching. So let's move on to that next. So I'm giving you the example of old egg versus new egg. And as I said earlier, the newer, the fresher the egg, the better the poach you're going to get. So here's an older egg that I've got. So immediately you'll see that the egg white is spreading quite a lot. So you'll see how that goes around the pan. Now with a really lovely new fresh egg, fingers crossed. Excellent. Right, so you'll see how that egg is definitely holding so much more together. You can see a very much thicker white there. So both eggs completely edible. Happy to do that as a fried egg, but if you're looking for a poached egg, that's exactly what you're looking for. So what I'm going to do next is poach the eggs. I'm going to poach an old egg and a new egg, and then you can see the difference that comes out once we've done so. So let's look at that.
Good.
Now we're going to look at putting the egg into the water to poach it. So I'm going to show you the old egg and I'm going to show you the new egg. You'll see straight away I've got 2 pans of water on. They're just bubbling away gently. If we have the water too hot and bubbling away, the first thing that's going to do is just break the egg up. So we want it just on a nice, this is what you call a nice gentle roll of a bubble. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to get my old egg. I've already broken it into a bowl. You can use a cup, whatever, but you know, it just makes it easier if you just put something into a bowl. It's easier just to tip in rather than trying to break the egg straight into the water. Now I'm swirling the water around so that when the egg goes into it, just gently pour it in. What that will do is just help the white just move around the yolk itself. Now being the older egg here, we're going to find that the white isn't really bonding around that at all. So we're going to do it with a newer one. Exactly the same process. Gently in. Okay, so already we can see that the egg white is actually bonding far better around the yolk here. With the egg white, you get 2 different whites. One's like the outer white, which is slightly thinner anyway, and then the thicker part that surrounds the egg yolk itself. You will find a little bit of wisping from that outer white. Now some people like the idea of actually putting vinegar into their water. Personally, I don't do that. I don't think it's necessary, but if it works for those people, then fantastic. Something you don't want to do is salt the water. Salt actually helps to break down the egg white. So if we salt the water, we've gone to all that trouble to have a lovely fresh egg. It can start actually breaking down that white, and it goes against everything that we're trying to achieve here. So eggs are in, cooking very gently. Again, as I say, we don't want this going too hard at all. And hopefully you can already see the 2 pictures. The yolk in this pan you know, it's just really separating from the white quite a bit. The yolk in the other pan really is looking quite lovely and is actually staying together. Just give that a little move. The water doesn't need to be swirling around anymore. It's just for that initial part of actually putting the egg into the water. So we're just going to let those cook through for a little bit longer. So when I take the eggs out, what I'll do, I've already got a plate here with a little bit of a kitchen roll on. So what we want to do is just take the excess water off of the egg just before we put our egg onto the plate of food that we're about to eat. And then I'll take it off and then I'll show you two very clear differences from the eggs onto two different plates. So you can really see and appreciate fresh egg versus older egg. So let's try and get this old egg out first. As much excess water off as we can. You can see here that the egg is pulling away from the white there. The egg yolk is pulling away from the white. Just get the excess water off, which is what you don't want on your plate when you're about to serve it. I'll show you this in a second. Right, now our beautiful fresh egg. Right, so already you can see how that's all just stayed together really beautifully. Okay, so the results for you are this. Old egg, fresh egg, so quite a difference. You know, let's be real, I mean, the older egg can easily be eaten. I mean, that's absolutely fine. Just doesn't look quite as pretty. Nice fresh egg, looks stunning. So, you know, eat that all day long. So there you go, there's the difference. Old egg versus new egg. Simplest way of actually just poaching an egg. As I say, bubbling water, swirl the pan. We need to be ready with some kitchen roll just to take off the excess water simply before we put it on the plate. So good luck with that, and very much look forward to hearing back from you to see what your results have been. So thanks for now. Okay, so we've looked at how to poach an egg, and we've looked at the right way and what happens if we do it the wrong way with the wrong eggs. But of course, now you've learned to poach an egg. What's going to happen? Of course, everyone's going to want to eat your poached egg. So what I'm going to do now is show you a quick chef tip, how to actually do multiple eggs and be able to serve them pretty much at the same time, rather than trying to cook one egg at a time and have breakfast last for quite some while. So I'll show you again. You have to excuse the headless shot as I'm doing it, but we'll show you the way to do it. Okay, so what's happening now is what I've done. I've poached a number of eggs, and what I've done with those eggs, I put them into a bowl of water, but with lots and lots of ice. So I'm just going to sort of demonstrate that again to you. So we'll just get one egg going whilst I'm talking about that. Okay, so quite simply, I've poached 1, 2, 3, 4 eggs here, and as they've cooked just about perfect, I put them straight into very cold iced water. So of course that just immediately stops the entire cooking process. They're just sat there. What I'm going to do, I'm just cooking the last poached egg here. What we can do with these eggs now, very carefully, is just take them out. I mean, if you want to just trim them up at all, if you're just looking to make sure that you're getting everything as good as you can possibly get, now's a good time to do that. They're cold, they're set, and they're ready to go. So I'm just putting them on here for a second. And of course, if you do have any eggs that you're not 100% sure about, if they're broken, an odd shape, anything about them, you know, the thing is with cooking these eggs, it's always going to be, you know, they are organic, so you've got to work with what you got. Right, so let's just see how this last egg is doing. Right, so that egg is nearly there. Right, so I've just simply got 2 plates here with 2 lots of kitchen paper. So, okay, so we put that on the first one. Just the reason we're doing that, like I just said, is just to trim them up. I've already got another pan of water on the go here. So nice clean fresh water. Just for reference, I have poached all the eggs in the same pan. The pan is looking pretty disgusting by now, but it's fine. Eggs got into there, as we know. They've stopped cooking. They're cold eggs. I can trim them up on there, all ready to rock. And as before with cooking a single egg, you've got to be just organised ahead of the time, just so once the eggs are coming out of the hot water, again, you've got to drain them onto your kitchen paper. Right, so this egg should be just fine now. Just cooked. Now in this case, I'm happy if I'm looking at it thinking maybe it could use a few more seconds. I'm okay with that because it's now going to go back into this other hot pan. It's going to finish off. Now, when we do this now, we've got to bear in mind these eggs are all cooked. So we don't want to be cooking them for minutes and minutes and minutes. It's just literally a quick 20-second or so flash just to refresh them. Okay, so all the eggs currently nice runny yolks. Okay, I'm not going to trim these off too much, that's absolutely fine. Always a good idea if you just want to cook one or two too many. Right, so quick dip. I can already see one of these eggs wants to break. And it's going to happen, you know, no matter what happens, yeah, you're going to get one or two that will break. So always well worth just doing one or two too many. So I'm just tipping them gently onto the spoon. Don't need that anymore. Right, so just get one egg. All you've got to do is just feel that there's enough heat in the egg, which there is, and back out they come. Because I can see with one or two of these eggs already breaking apart a little bit, and that, again, that's fine. Just always make one or two too many, if you have enough eggs, of course. Right, so how many eggs have we got there? So that's 5 eggs I've got all done pretty much in one go. So no doubt whatever you're going to serve them with, that's always all going to be ready to begin with. So all we now need to do is just top our eggs on top of whatever our breakfast is. So job done. So again, good luck with that, and look forward to looking at the next egg cooking session. You know, we're looking at scrambled egg, we're going to look at boiled eggs possibly. So again, really glad to hear any feedback from you guys. So thank you again.